What's an unspoken rule that annoys you when people don't know about it? Don't play music out loud from your mobile phones on public transportation. I get that you're going to have a boring ride, but don't ruin everyone else's. Let people know when you have them on speakerphone, especially when your husband, wife, partner, friend or any other human is within earshot. One of my friends is always driving his mom places, so when we call him, he very often answers through his car's Bluetooth stereo. She's a very strict and nosy lady, and every time he would mention that we are on speaker she would get upset and think he was up to no good. So we came up with a simple system. Every time anybody in our friend group calls him, we always ask, "Can you hear me?" If he's alone he'll just let us know, but if he's with his mom he'll respond loud and clear. We then know not to mention anything she wouldn't like to hear. It's worked like a charm for the last 4 years. Don't ask people to do their job for free, even if you're friends or family. I'm a lawyer and I can't tell you how much I feel this pain. I've gotten to the point where, if you ask nicely and expect to pay something I'll do it at cost for me, paying the paralegal for their time, filing fees etc. But if you expect it for free my services are full price. When someone hands you their phone to use, don't go through it. It's rude. I used to have students confirm they all individually had the necessary lab data before they left for the evening. They would take a photo of their partner's tables and then hand me their phones. I'd never touch them. Hands free I'd say no. You scroll through your photos and show me the data. I'm not touching that. No way am I risking seeing something I don't want to. Move your cart to the side of the aisle when looking for groceries. Don't hog up the middle. Oh, of course I'll wait for you to pick out a flavor of beans. Sharon, take your time. If someone pays for something for you, I'm not talking about as a gift. I just mean we can't split the bill here so I'll pay and you can pay me your half later. I'll buy both of our concert tickets now and you can revel at me for it later. etc. You really shouldn't make them ask you to pay them back. Ideally not even once, but especially not 2 or 3 times. If I owe someone money like that I make sure to pay them back as soon as I can and let them know once I've done it. I have a friend who I know is not short on money, but I stopped offering to pay for things for him in situations like the above because he just forgets and makes you ask him 2 or even 3 times before he does it. I really think that's not fair to people. You're putting them in an uncomfortable position, and it's so uncomfortable to ask for money back. Like I don't want to seem like a cheap person who cares more about money than the friendship, but just because I had enough extra to cover once doesn't mean I don't need the money myself. Respect people's right to say no. It's okay to ask someone for something, or to do something, or whatever, but if they say no, don't pester them or guilt trip them. People who pressure their friends are kind of garbage friends. One thing that annoys me is when somebody asks for something, I say no, then they say please. I didn't say no because you were rude enough to not use your manners. I said no because I didn't want to. Stand 2 meters back from the airport baggage carousel. If everyone does it, then enters that ring to grab their luggage and leave, then everyone can see their luggage as it comes and no one is jostling. It never occurred to me until I traveled in South Korea and they had a white line around the carousel that everyone stood on. It was remarkably efficient, and I wish the rest of the world adopted it. I was flying recently and 2 flights were dumped on the same carousel, but they announced that my flight was going to be the one whose baggage would come out first. Still everyone from the other flight is crowding the carousel. I see my bag, and I'm just barging through a thick group of people to get to my bag, and I could barely even see the carousel itself from further back. I don't get it. It doesn't move fast enough that you could miss it. Most are circles. Also no one who crowds the belt ever quickly takes their bag and leaves. If you see me taking off my headphones to listen and answer your question, then immediately put them on again 5 times. It clearly means that I'm just being polite, not that I'm interested in talking to you. So stop asking me questions. Time for me, 22 years old and female, to tell you all about my worst plane ride ever. It was 5 AM, I was on the aisle seat and a middle-aged dude was seated on the window seat. There was one empty seat between us because COVID. I was exhausted. It was 5 AM and I hadn't slept all night. I was also leaving my family for God knows how long. During takeoff he started talking to me. Just regular small talk which I didn't mind too much. Shortly after that he slept and there came breakfast time. At that moment I did the worst thing I could possibly do. I woke him up. From that point, he kept on babbling about God knows what. I was just humming and ahhing. That dude could not take a hint, so I put my earphones on. But he kept talking and calling for attention, so I pretended to sleep and then he slowly started to shut up. I kinda felt sorry because I thought I was a little mean, but I really couldn't take it. He eventually fell back asleep. Then we landed, and I felt like he was doing everything possible to stay close to me. I thought I was overreacting, but still put a few people between us in the line to get out of the plane so that he'll get out first. I even said bye so that he wouldn't approach me again. On my way to the customs, I noticed him waiting for me. Like, come on. Either I'm extremely paranoid and this is normal, or he's just really weird and unaware that what he does is not the norm. I chose that moment to buy my train ticket in hopes that he would give up, but no, he was still there. So I walked really fast on those flat escalator things to pass him. He caught up at the luggage spot. His came before mine, and he was still not going. So I went, I'll be fine, I don't have much, you can go, you'll miss the bus or train. Someone's here to pick me up anyway. And that's when he finally left. I can't tell if it's because of my lie, nobody was there for me, or if it was because I actually asked him to leave. But good God, he was exhausting. I have nothing against strangers talking to me, but that was clearly not a good day for me, and I really tried to communicate it to him in a less mean way. If people seem to want to be left alone, leave them alone. Or if you can't really tell, just ask them. Wait, I have another. You shouldn't be texting while driving. That's a given. But for the love of all that is holy, if you are the lead car at a red light, pay attention to the light. Some lights are short and all of us need to get through it. Update Twitter later. I take my line leader duty seriously. If someone is hosting you, don't insult or give a negative critique of their home. Some people have fewer resources than others, only one income to live off of, and have worked very hard to get less, etc. No need to point out home imperfections. That it's common courtesy to say thank you after receiving help or service from someone else, even if they just did their job. Thank the goddamn cashiers, bus drivers and doctors of this world. I remember thanking my dentist after he'd taken out my wisdom teeth. He was surprised. Apparently no other patient had ever thanked him while still leaking blood out of their mouth. Like it's not his fault these teeth didn't fit in my mouth, but he got them out. Thank you for that, sir. When you're in the elevator with a group of people and get to the bottom and it opens and a handful of people lurch forward to get in. Now we are standing there, face to face in gridlock. During this moment you say to yourself, how long until they realize they are the ones who have to move, or you are not going to get out of the elevator, ever. Then you see a look of surprise sweep over their face, and then they move back. Offer a glass of water to anyone providing physically stressful service at your place. For example, the furniture delivery guy. Lots of people assume that they are just doing their job, but it doesn't mean you forget basic human courtesy. Don't take the last of something without asking. I had gooey butter cookies I brought home when visiting family. I know they're impossible to stop eating, so I guess it's my fault. Offered roommates some when I left. Came back and they were all gone. Never even got one.